today is part 2 of the generational wealth series. This is part 2 of breaking generational curses. We have to get down to the core. We have to be able to clear out and recoup and reevaluate and really dig into what is causing generational curses and how we stop them. And this is what this series is all about. So before I continue, make sure you like, share, and you subscribe, okay? It'll be that button down below. So moving straight into it, last week we went into the beginnings and talkings of why generational curses have been so influential in our communities and why generational wealth is not talked about as much. But as you'll hear these days, you'll hear many people talking about generational wealth, but they're not really giving the specifics on why generational wealth needs to be more prominent instead of generational curses. People want to hear more of the negative instead of trying to influence the positive. And this community is all about influencing the positive. It's about being self-aware of what is going on in your life to help you get to your next level. That is the reason why you're here. And I am so happy that you're here. To all the new individuals that are here in this group, welcome, welcome, welcome. You'll see in every single last one of my videos, I have energy like no other, and that is what I want you to have. I want you to be able to feel it, know it, be consumed with it, and recognize that the reason that you're a part of this group is because you want to be able to share in that synergy, okay? You want to be able to be involved, and you want to be able to incorporate and implement it inside of your life. So as I told you that we're going to talk about the steps that has caused generational curses and to transition it over to generational wealth. Now, going straight into it, we have to talk about the foundation of what every single last one of us have. It's our blueprint. It is what has given us our foundation and built to who we are today. Now, our blueprint can be very conflicting with the woman that we are today. And if you're a man watching this video, the man that you are today, but who you are can get conflicting with what your foundation began with. And it all starts with the programming that you started off with. Now remember from last week, and if you haven't watched the video, the part 1 series, please go and look at that video before you continue on with this video, because I'll be referring back to that video from time to time. So there is your foundation of your blueprint, where it starts with your programming. Your programming starts with how you grew up, your parents, your siblings, your family members, your religious leaders, your spiritual leaders, your teachers, your doctors, the people that are around you, your supervisors, your friends, your co-workers. All of this right here is programming that you have seen, an influx of information, an influx of other people's opinions, an influx of thoughts and things that you have constantly consumed, and you have programmed. Well, the information has been programmed inside of your system, embedded inside of your system, and that is what we call programming. This constant consummation of the same things, the same information, and it ends up either causing some type of trauma in your life. It's causing some type of notation about something in your life. It's something that you live by. It's something that you don't want to live by, but it's there, so you're cautious and you're aware of it when it happens. So that is part of your programming, and whatever your programming is leads and gives you your thoughts, okay? Your program leads to your thoughts. Whatever you're programmed around, your thoughts surround itself around, okay? Your thoughts lead to your emotions, so it triggers your feelings. There's an emotion attached to those thoughts, which is attached to the programming that you were brought up in, okay? Now, bear with me. This all will make sense. So your emotions are attached to your thoughts, which is attached to the programming that you were brought up as, which leads to the actions that you choose to take, the choices that you make in your life. being that these are the choices that you make in your life, which are brought on by the emotions that you have, that have been created by the thoughts that you were thinking, by the program that was given to you, which gives you the results that you see today. Okay? So, I hope you followed that. Your programming has led to your thoughts, which has led to the triggering of emotions with whatever thoughts that you were thinking at the time that the programming was given to you, or whenever you have your thoughts and your programming is surrounded by those thoughts, which leads to the actions that you take, the choices that you choose to make based on those emotions, based on those thoughts, based on those programmings, which leads to the results that you have today. Okay? Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but if you don't understand, go ahead and rewind this. That's why it's a video, so you'll be able to go ahead and rewind and be able to let it sink in. Do the 60-second sink in. That's one of my tips that I'm giving you. Do a 60-second sink in, okay, before you actually respond, to be able to really think about everything that I just said. Okay, so going into the fact that your programming leads to your thoughts, which leads to your emotions, which leads to your actions, the choices that you make, which leads to your results. Whatever you have in your life right now, whatever is going on in your life right now, is the results of the choices that you have made based on everything that I just told you. Okay? So many times people can't understand why they're having the results that they're having. Well, let's go back to the root. It's all based on the programming that was given to you as a child. I'll use as an example. Since we are talking about wealth and how to create it, let's go into as a child. And I know I'm not the only one who has had people say things like this to them. But see if anything like this reminds you. Now, you know I got my notes. I got to look at my notes to make sure that I give you the right information. Have you ever heard in your life while you were growing up, money is the root of all evil? That's a big one, right? That's a big one, okay? Another one, save your money for a rainy day, right? Then there's rich people are greedy criminals, okay? You might have heard that one. You have to work hard for money. There is money doesn't grow on trees. That's another big one. That's a real big one, okay? You know, comment down below if you've heard that. Any one of these that you have heard, comment down below, okay? Then money talks. Money doesn't buy happiness. Ooh, I felt that one. You've heard that one. I know you've heard that one. If you haven't heard it, you hear it today, okay? And the rich get richer and the poor get purple. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, right? You've heard that, correct? All right, and then we can't afford it, right? And then there's not everyone can be rich. Now, if you've heard any of these, I need you to comment down below. Let me know which ones have you heard, because that right there is part of your programming. Yes, that's part of your programming. And even though you may not realize it, this programming has affected your results when it comes to money. Let's go into at least 3 of them, okay? I'm not going to go into all of them because that's a whole session in my mastermind program that I have, okay? If you want more information, you go ahead and DM me, hit me up, and we'll be able to go into that. But just going into 3 of them, okay? We're not going to dive deep. We're just going to go into 3 of them. The first one, money is the root of all evil, okay? Now, you may have heard this inside of the Bible. There's plenty sermons that have been taught on it. I know because I grew up in the church. I know if you haven't heard it or you've heard about it, but you don't know where it specifically came from, there's a lot of negativity that surrounds itself when it comes to money. Okay, now, if we're going to go back biblically, okay, we're going to go biblically, we need to go to the beginning, okay? When God first created the earth and he went through all of the days, 6 days, the 7th day he rested. When he first created the earth And he went through all of those days and he said, this is good. Okay? When he said this is good, mind you, let's go back to the root. Money, which has been transformed into many various different ways. But when you think of money, many times, especially in this day and age, or if you're a lot older or you're my age, it doesn't matter. Money, when you normally think of it, is paper, green, cash, okay? That's what you see it as. Paper with money is simply paper with the writing on it, okay? Transfer it over. Where does paper come from? Paper comes from trees, okay? Paper comes from trees. Now, everything that you see comes from a source of something. When you drink your orange juice comes from oranges, correct? Okay? Which come from trees, right? It's a fruit, it comes from trees. Your clothing, okay? Majority of clothing comes from oil, okay? Oil comes from the ground, all right? We're all talking about the root, the source. So when God created the world and he created everything in it, he created the foundation of everything. All we do is use innovation to turn it into something else, okay? But there's a root to everything. And when God said, this is good, he said everything. He never said anything specifically, oh, money isn't good. No, money is an energy. Money is part of a source. It's a resource that we use to be able to circulate in this world, okay? It's like the blood that flows through your veins. Money is a circulation. Money is the blood flow that runs this world, that rules it to be able to help things run smoothly, okay? If you didn't have the blood flow inside of your system circulating, like if you get a blood clot or something into your heart, you start to get a heart attack, or you're not able to function properly. That's the same thing when it comes to money. Money circulates into this world. It is a good thing. Money is a good thing. So the root of all evil, no, money is an energy. Money is a source. And when you have a thought that money is the root of all evil, and you have those thoughts in your head, and you have that negative mindset around money, the laws of attraction sets in. The universe will not give you something that you don't want. So you say you want money out of your mouth physically, but mentally you're saying money is the root of all evil. And by you thinking money is the root of all evil, and mentally, and those emotions are negative, the universe, which is the energy that you're pushing out into the world, and mind you, money is just another source of energy, it's not going to come to you. It's not going to be attracted to you because you're not attracted to it. The universe is saying, why would I give you something that you don't really want? You don't really want it. Yeah, you're seeing it. People can say it as much as they want, but when you feel it, when you think it, you're pushing that energy out there, okay? What you think, what you feel internally, whatever you do internally is way more powerful than what you just say out of your mouth. What your words are powerful, but you're constantly thinking and feeling, that has way more power because you're doing it on a consistent basis. So that energy is constantly flowing out of you, whereas your words said once or twice, but what you feel and what you think is constant energy flowing out of you. So the universe is only going to give you what you really, really want, okay? So you need to remember that money is not the root of all evil. Money is good. Money is awesome. Money is blood flow that circulates in this world. Money is the economic circulation of this world, and it is a great thing because when you do receive money, or you do receive a gift of money, and you're able to purchase the things that you want, you feel good. You feel great. You feel happy because you're You're able to provide for your family. You're able to do things for yourself. You're able to give, okay? Money is amazing, okay? And once you recognize how good it is and disassociate yourself with that saying it's the root of all evil, that is when you're going to start to see things changing, okay? So remember that you have to stop and recognize that it is not the root of evil, okay? People use it for various different things, but that is the person with their mindset on how they use it. It's the same thing when it comes to light, okay? You can use electricity to light a house, or you can use electricity to electrocute somebody and kill them. It is all the perception, the mindset, and the use of it. But it doesn't make it evil. You feel me? You hear me? All right? We're just getting into this. But I'm not going to go as deep. But that is what you have to wrap yourself around. Okay? So you have to learn how to disassociate yourself with what you heard. And recognize that it is not you. It is not real. It is not true. And learn to love. Okay? Love the different types of sources of energy, and money is an energy. Money is good. It helps you. It helps you get to where you want to go. It helps you live the life that you want to live, okay? All right. It seemed, I went deep into that because I want you to understand how valuable your programming can harm you if you don't disassociate yourself with things that have been harming you, okay? All right. So I'll go into one more, okay? The next one, when you say, we can't afford it. That is a huge one, okay? You can afford anything that you put your mind to, okay? You can get anything you want in this world. We can't afford it. Immediately limits yourself. You immediately limit yourself. Now, at that point in time, whoever stated that to you, you may have grown up in not so good circumstances. I didn't grow up in circumstances that's considered wealthy, okay? And I've heard it before, and I didn't realize that it was a bad thing. It was something immediately when my mom would say it, and I love my mom very much. She did the very best that she could at that point in time. I wouldn't be the woman I am today without her being the person that she is. But she said that to us on more than one occasion. And those feelings, those thoughts, immediately when she said we can't afford it, formulated a thought that if we can't afford it, then we're not meant to have it. You know, and then not only that, but it gives you a sad feeling. It gives you a feeling of frustration, of sadness, of a habit of not feeling good, okay? So immediately, we limit our resources. You're an adult now. You have access to way more resources than you did as a child, okay? That programming is not a part of your adulthood, not a part of who you are today. So please remember and understand that that is not who you are. That is not who you are. So we need to be able to understand, hey, that is not me. I can't afford it. I have to understand that there's more than one way to be able to get the resources. There's millions of ways to be able to get what you want in this world. Millions of ways. Stop having the scarcity mindset. Let the scarcity mindset go, because that is harming you. We can't. That word can't immediately shuts off the flow of unlimited wealth. Unlimited access to resources, unlimited networking opportunities. Can't needs to be removed, okay? You can afford it. We can afford it. There's more than one way to generate wealth, and that is what we have to change. We have to remove can't from the vocabulary, that little apostrophe T. Take that out of the equation and put we can afford it. There's just more than one way to do so. Stop thinking that you can just do it on your own, because there's more than one way. Stop thinking that your paycheck is the only way to get what you want. There's more than one way. Remember that, okay? All right, we're just getting started, and I've let you know this information is very important. Queens, it's very important, and there's some kings here. It's very important that you understand that your programming is harming you if you don't become aware of what it is that's in your past that is still dictating your present and your future. Okay? All right? So just having those two things stated out to you, that lets you know that your programming is very important. So if you understand what I'm saying, if you feel what I'm saying, leave a comment down below and say, sister or queen, I understand, I get it. There's some things that I do need to understand, that my programming is causing the thoughts that triggers emotions from those thoughts. Okay? When it comes to money, you have some people that they didn't have much, so they feel resentful because they couldn't have what they wanted to have. So they think that there's only certain ways to go about getting it because they have a limited mindset on how they can get what they want. And another thing is that we're taught there's only one way to make money. Okay? The programming when we grew up in schools, nobody ever talked about businesses. They still don't really talk about businesses. It's only when you get to college when they might mention it, but majority of the time they're telling you about how you can get a job. Okay? That's a one way to make money, and it is not the best way to make money. It's a great way to gain experience, but it is not the best way to become a self-made millionaire that you want to be. Okay? We've only been taught one way, but there's hundreds of thousands of ways. And in this day and age, it is the best time to be living because even more, there's hundreds of millions of ways to make money. Okay? Hundreds of millions of ways to make money. That little one source that they only teach us to work for somebody else, to gain experience from somebody else, that right there is a limited mindset. And that is what they want, but not you. You're here because you don't want to do that. You don't want to have to deal with that. Okay? You don't want to believe that you have to do that for 40 years and still recognize that at the end of it, it's still not going to be enough. Because it's not. It's not going to be enough. If you are holding on for the government to take care of you or holding on for somebody else to take care of what is your responsibility, I'll tell you right now, it is not going to happen. If you want a superhero, you step up and be that superhero. You be the one that you want to have in your life. You want to be that very best version of yourself. I can't even talk. I get hyped about it, but that's just my energy that's going through me. I have a lot going in my mind. But you be the very best version of yourself, okay? Be the very best version of yourself. I need you to understand that you are not what your programming was when you grew up. There are positive things that have influenced you, but there's a lot of trauma and there's a lot of negativity as well that you have incorporated, that has been embedded inside of you, that you have to learn how to disassociate yourself from it. You have to understand that your programming when you grew up is not who you are today. That you have a choice to be able to change it. You have a choice to let you recognize that that is not who you are. And the person that you want to be is the person that you can be if you learn the skills, learn how to gather the resources, learn how to invest in yourself, learn how to recognize that you surround yourself with the people that you want to be like. Inspire to be the very best version of yourself. If you want to be a self-made millionaire, you're going to have to recognize that you're going to have to get information from millionaires. You're going to have to get resources from millionaires. You're going to have to get things from people that you want to be like. Not be them, but inspire to be in a way that they're representing themselves. Okay? Take what they have. You don't have to take everything, but take what they have and incorporate it in you. Because it's the same programming. Reprogramming yourself is what you want. It's the same type of programming that you did when you was a child. All you're doing is reprogram yourself. I need you to reprogram your thoughts. Reprogram your foundation. You're going to have to get rid of a lot of things that you thought is good for you, and it's not. Because you end up passing it along. That's how we're creating the generational curses. We are continuously making sure that we pass along the same things that we were taught unconsciously because it's embedded inside of our programming. Okay, now I said I wasn't going to talk too much, but sometimes I can go on a rant. But that is the programming that we need to learn how to deal with. Okay, we need to recognize that there are some things. So what I need you to do for your homework, for yourself, not for me, but for yourself. But if you really feel like you're committed to being wealthy, committed to being a self-made millionaire, write these things down. What is it in your past that is programming from when you were younger that you're still dealing with today and that you didn't even realize that you're passing along? Write it down. Share some of those thoughts. This community is all about sharing. This community is all about evolving, growing, and then implementing. And then I want you to create 2 pages. On one page about what you grew up learning. Then I want you to make another page of what you want. Recognize how those 2 pages are different and what you need to disassociate yourself with in order to accomplish your goals. So I hope that you were able to get some of this information. Again, this is only the root. This is only the beginning of it. There will be a part 3, so check that out. But I need you to first comment, like, and subscribe, and understand for more information like this. Recognize this is to help elevate you, take you to your next level. Recognize that the person that you want to be is there. All you have to do is learn the skills to get you there, because what you don't know can hurt you. Generational wealth starts with us, queens. Let's go ahead and get it. Until next time, you have a fabulous day. Peace.